your work always tells a story. Let's have a close look.
Hey, Close Look here again at Fashion Week with Raman. Tell us what inspired it, what it came to be, and where people can find it.
Okay, well, my brand's name is Hasarumi, and this is the first time I've shown it, so this is kind of a debut of it, and it's called the Lotus Collection. A lot of the pieces were inspired by flowers. There's a lot of lace pieces in there. My final piece was a terrain that almost looked like lotus petals. So yeah, it's all been inspired by the woman, and I'm always trying to find ways to make a woman look sexy but classy, and always trying to find a piece such as a pencil skirt, which I did a lot of different versions of. I think it's a perfect piece to accentuate the curves, so every woman could wear it, but still look classy and still kind of look in her bombshell. So yeah.
Basically, the whole collection was exclusively in white. What was your motivation behind just no colors, pure white?
Pure white. Well, I wanted to go with a very neutral palette because I think it's very classic, and especially for spring, you think of something that's very wistful, and the theme was very romantic, and I figured to stay within the whites and the neutrals would be the perfect way to keep that wistful feel. Yeah.
Sweet. I guess just considering the nature of our program, did any South Asian influences come into your work, and where did you draw them from?
Yeah, well, just growing up Indian, but I'm also very westernized. My parents are from India, but I'm born here, so I've always been trying to find ways to marry the two, and even when I'm getting Indian clothes made, say in India, I'm always trying to find ways to change it so it has a bit of a Western feel. But then when I wear Western clothes, I always try to give it a bit of an Indian feel, just so I'm always trying to marry the two, so that's exactly what I try to do with the line as well. So yeah, you would see that a lot, and I also added some Indian jewelry to kind of accentuate that. Yeah,
for sure. I guess talk to me about what got you into fashion in the beginning, and I guess how have you been supported along the way to get to where you are today?
Okay, well, I know fashion sometimes might not be the traditional thing for in our culture to be going into, because usually your parents would want you to do something that seems a little more, I guess, solid in the beginning. But yeah, because it is risky, it's a risky business to get into, but growing up I'd always been into fashion. I would always make clothes for my dolls, and I grew up in a small town, so the closest mall was about an hour away, and I used to always change up my clothes because I always wanted to have something that was on TV, or always wanted to just change my own style. And I'm not entering the fashion industry in the traditional route. I actually went into business, but I always wanted to do fashion school. That was my first passion, and I feel like I just kind of, even after doing business, it's always been in the back burner and always been something I've been doing in the background. And this year I finally put all my pieces together and decided to launch the line. So yeah.
That's awesome. Where do you see yourself going from here? I guess just considering that you've got business, you've got this wonderful fashion line, right?
Yeah.
Where do you see maybe both of those passions or both of those talents of yours going?
Well, I see it going more into this line. I see it growing. I want to hopefully have this piece in many, many women's hands as soon as possible. So I guess we'll just see what happens in the next year or so.
For sure. And how can we get it into as many hands as possible?
I guess setting up as many buyer meetings as possible.
Sure.
Yeah, and just getting it into a buyer's hands, and then see where we'll go from there. Yeah.
All right, sweet. I guess lastly, we're a program oriented towards the South Asian community and also towards the youth.
Yeah.
So, the younger generation. I was just wondering if you could give any advice to maybe those who are maybe put in that similar situation of parents that, want them to be doctors, lawyers, engineers, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So, I guess what advice would you have for someone who wants to enter the fashion industry and maybe just needs that little bit of support?
Well, at the end of the day, I feel like whatever you do in life, you're going to be spending so much of your time doing it. So make sure it's something that makes you happy. And if you're really passionate about it and you work really hard, I feel like your parents will want you to be happy as well. And when they see you working hard and they see the fruition of it, if you're just talking about it, that's one thing, but they actually see actions, I feel like the support will just come. And if it's not there initially, it eventually will, but you just have to kind of stick to it and kind of march out your own drum and just hope that it'll come together, but just don't lose your passion.
You can check her out. This is House of Remy. Thank you so much for joining us today, and best of luck with the line in the future. It looked absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're watching Close Look!
My name is Mohammed, and you're watching Close Look.
Hi, I'm Lynn Ben, the Director for Student Development at Kwantlen Polytechnic University. You're watching Close Look. Get inspired.
Hey, Close Look, I'm here with Aishwarya at Vancouver Fashion Week. How's it going?
Very good. So far, so good.
Yep. We just wrapped up day 4 here, and we're all exhausted. But, I mean, watching your line was so refreshing just from all the things that we saw beforehand. And just tell us a bit about your line, what it's called, and what inspired you to create in such a way.
Okay, so the theme for our show is Mirror Mirror on the Walk. And as the name suggests, since the ancient time, Indian, women, queens, and, Maharanis, if that's what you call it. So they have been sort of like wearing mirrors as ornaments on their clothes, embroideries, everything. So that is what we're bringing ancient back. So we're mixing Indian ancient handicraft with Western cuts and gowns and everything.
That's exactly what we saw. That's yeah, because what I noticed a lot of is what you just mentioned with the marriage of two cultures, almost taking Western cuts and throwing Indian designs onto them. I guess tell me what went into, because the Indian culture, like, we're very, very glamorous. We really like making things nice and shiny for everyone so they can see us. And you chose to kind of take that, but instead of using like the little sequins, you used the big ones.
Yes, I did.
Why did you go for that?
Isn't Vancouver a big platform? Why go for the small things? Go for the big things.
And yeah, exactly. So you're not from Vancouver.
Not at all.
How are you enjoying it here? And tell me a bit about what it's like being a designer in India.
It's equally exhausting, frankly. A lot of hard work and everything. You have to go through weird lanes and, to get the best out of everything. But yeah, it is obviously amazing. Being a designer here in India or in Vancouver, it's equally good. So it's just amazing.
For sure. And one thing that we do note is that how did you get started in all this? How did fashion catch your eye?
I just completed my graduation, and I don't know, I just always have this drive for, fashion. It's like my passion, you know. I really want to sort of, whenever I see something, all I see is how that will look on me or on somebody else. Actually, I started with myself, but then I ended up designing clothes for others, and it is a lot of fun. It's way more interesting than any of the other things. That's what at least I feel. So it really is.
Did you feel any pressure from those around you to maybe not go into fashion? Because I know it's such a risky kind of thing to go into.
There is a lot of tough competition. It is a very competitive world. You do feel a little intimidated that, you know, if you're that good or something. But I think eventually, once you're into it, you start showcasing your designs and you get compliments for it, you develop that confidence. So that's okay.
And you're brand new to this. How long have you been designing for formally?
Honestly, I think this is like my first, this is my first fashion show. I've done exhibitions, but a fashion show, this is my first. So it's just been like a year or something I've been into it.
And you're already here.
Yes.
See, the sky's the limit now.
Yes.
So where do you see yourself going from here? Because, I mean, you've obviously flown like across the planet for us and done all this stuff. Where do you see your clothing going from this point right now?
All the stores in Vancouver or rest of the world.
Just keep going. Do you have a plan to maybe get this stuff to maybe mass production or take it to manufacturers at this point?
We are sort of publicizing it slightly, but then not that much. And we have our, like, they can, whoever likes our clothes, they can contact us. We have our business cards and everything. And whoever likes it, they can contact us.
Perfect. Lastly, here at Close Look, we really like talking about youth and the next generation. I was just wondering if you could give someone out there who might be watching this words of encouragement or, you know, how to maybe get themselves off the ground if they think, man, fashion's awesome.
No matter how new you are, or no matter, you know, if you think that you're not confident enough, just go for it, because trust me, it does catch up to you. Everything good will come eventually.
There you go. I can tell you right now, like, as soon as that stuff hits the stores, I need to go and buy it. I need, like, all the women in my life need to wear some of this stuff because it works so well, and it's so nice to see that you could wear something for almost any occasion, and I think that is such a really cool idea. So yeah, no problem. Please come back and visit.
Definitely.
And we really want to see you at more of these fashion shows
Yes.
because
It is
keep
amazing.
doing you. Yeah, it's
Yes.
fantastic. Close Look, we've got one real up and coming right here. Thank you.